Hello, everybody. Chair's squeaky, man. I'm told that maybe I'm just being a little sensitive about the sound, but I know for a fact this chair is squeaky. Okay, so we're live. Let's share the link on the socials medias. Been a while since we've done an art stream. So hopefully you guys will tune in and watch the show. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're all set up. We're good. I got my water. People are talking about Fallout again? What's this? Okay. Hopefully we're set. It's a little high on my end, but it looks like it's alright on the stream. Okay. I think the volume's a little low in general. Can OBS just please make like an in general slider? Like, okay, I have all my different individual channels that I can up the volume on, but like, why not make one where I can just up all the volume on every channel at the same time? Why not? Like, output volume. Why not? Okay. Let's get into Procreate. Did a little doodle before I went live, just to like make sure I'm not completely rusty. I haven't drawn on the iPad for a while. Hello, Maxime. Welcome back. Just getting started here. I made some improvements, and it looks like lag between me and chat is not as close. It's not as far. You know. So hopefully you're having a good day. I just had dinner. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I did an art stream. What was the last time I did an art stream? Let me see. Channel. The last art stream was a month ago. No, wait. 2 weeks ago. Okay, so it wasn't that far away. Yeah, the last one was left-handed art stream. I'm left-handed. I'm always gonna be drawing on the left hand. Yeah. What did we draw on that stream? Mute that. Oh, we drew it. We drew that. Okay. Cool. Okay. We got the Sonic 06 soundtrack playing. I love this soundtrack. Only thing, like, maybe the only thing this game did right. The soundtrack. So... just doing some doodles, cause like, yeah, I did that guy to warm up, but just, hey, they kind of fit together. Let's see. There's like a thing I've been doing lately, where it's like, I've been doing a lot of concept art for the game, right? And I've been drawing a lot of, like, symbols, like, you know, like, they're mostly improvised, but you know, there's like a ton of factions I want to put in the game. So I've just been making up symbols, like just random doodles, kind of like this. I have like pages full of them. You know, one of the reasons I haven't been streaming a lot of art is because I just kind of been focusing on like getting a better output on the channel, rather than just streaming and recording like hours at a week, right? When I could just put out one good video, right? I mean, this week I put how many videos? I put like 2 or 3 videos this week. So, yeah. So I hope we're all doing good tonight. Hopefully we can draw something cute. So let's see. But yeah, one of the reasons I've been like drawing on paper a lot more is because of the texture, right? I hear a lot about those screen protectors for like digital screens that excuse me, they give you like a bit more of a paper feel, and but they ruin your nibs. What are they called? The pencil tips, you know? And I'd rather not risk busting that stuff. Someone's come up with a devious plan. This is indeed a mischievous creature. But, oh, hold on. You know, I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Oh, hello, Spot. I gotta go do something real quick. Alright? But, hey, here's something. How about for now, you guys watch this thing.
Long ago in a distant land, I, Oryx, the Taken King and Master of Darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But then, a foolish light card, wielding the light, stepped forth to oppose.
I made this in Blender. Alright, I'll be back.
Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal into the Ascendant Realm and challenged them within my throne world. Where my logic is law, now the fool seeks my power, and undo the aversion that is my throne. Long ago in a distant land, I, Oryx, the Taken King, and Master of Darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But then, a foolish light card, wielding the light, stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal into the Ascendant Realm and challenged them within my throne world. Where my logic is law, now the fool seeks my power, and undo the aversion that is my throne. Long ago in a distant land, I, Oryx, the Taken King, and Master of Darkness, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But then, a foolish light card, wielding the light, stepped forth to oppose me. Before the final blow was struck, I tore open a portal into the
Alright, hello class. I'm back.
Where my logic is law,
do.
now the fool seeks my power.
It's not the wrong time.
And
That one's it. Hello. I hope you liked that animation. I had to go do something real quick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm kind of rushed. So, yeah. Up the volume on the music again. Sorry if I put that too high. Alright, hello. Welcome. Welcome back. Hope everyone's doing fine. Yeah, someone just got home and need help bringing some stuff up. So I had to haul some stuff up the stairs. So a little out of breath because I kind of rushed up and down. Yeah, so that animation I played while I was gone, I did that in just a few days. Spliced some clips from the game Destiny with some animations I did, because I wanted to spoof Samurai Jack's intro. I really like Samurai Jack, and I've been rewatching the show lately. Sick drip? Yeah, he's dripped out. Been watching the show lately, and just out of a random thought, crossover of interest, I made that little short. It's currently on the channel too, so. You know, I don't think I've ever drawn this guy on stream, you know. They kind of got like a football head, right? And they got like big ol' eyes here, like that, bigger. And they got these bunny ears, like that. They're like little alien guys. Kind of look like this. And they usually have like a big gun. But yeah, crossover of interest is kind of what summarizes a lot of my work. It's like, oh, I like this and this thing. Let's do something there with it. There's another animation that I did this month that I really liked, which was the Doom style glory kill animation. Is that a rabbit holding a sick No, it's not a rabbit. It's not a rabbit. But it is a rabbit. I think he's just standing there with them, not really taking them hostage. You know, let's put him over here. Composition's sake. Maybe this guy should be a little higher. Around there. Yeah. I'm sure I've talked about it before on the stream, right? But like I've talked about how I like overlaying a texture on the screen, right? How I just like giving it a little bit of a different feel, right? So this is 3 photos I took, right? The first layer is, hold on, let me just duplicate it so you guys can see what the pictures actually look like. Let's just turn off the blending modes. Put it on normal. Just so you guys can see what we're working with here. But these are 3 photos I took, like, over the course of years. This is a photo of metal from the Smithsonian? Yeah, is it Smithsonian? Is that how you say it? You know, the big museum in DC. I took a picture of that metal, and I just overlay it over some drawings sometimes and use it as a texture. And then this is a photo of the beach, like that's close to my town. That's close to my house. And over here, it's like a really close picture of like sand grain. It's blurry, but the blur kind of helps it blend in with the colors. So when I overlay them together, you kind of get this. So yeah, it's a little bit of texture. Makes it look more like paper, I guess. Well, it doesn't look like paper, but you know what I mean. It doesn't look like a solid pixel color, right? I didn't know I was the only I wasn't the only person to do that stuff, right? Because I was watching this artist Bombs Ahoy, right? They do some really great pinup illustrations, and I watched their stuff. And one of their videos, they talk about how they like sort of use photo bashing to make backgrounds for their illustrations, and they use it to like blend in details together on like photorealistic pictures, right? And make them look like illustrations. He goes through like simplifying shapes and stuff. Like he downloads a photo of a Hummer and like cuts down details from it, right? Just to like make something that's stylized but still has a lot of detail. But hey, we're still warming up. So like if anyone wants to do like a suggestion, you can do some requests and knock those out of the way in the beginning. Is like the Dread from Proto Hunter. I've been drawing a lot of Proto Hunter stuff lately, making me want to come back to it in a way. Yeah, blending is kind of the subject we're talking about today, because like that kind of goes back to the animation I showed earlier, right? Because I to get a stylized look, I used a node called Kuwahara. It's like spelled Kuwahara, right? And that node, what it does is that it basically like kind of smudges your renders. Not like that. More like, hold on. Kind of like this. Kind of does that with the renders, and it just makes it like blend in a way that it makes it look like it was painted, right? And I really wanted to copy the Samurai Jack thing like that, because like at the intro Samurai Jack, it's like a watercolor painterly thing, right? So that was my way of trying to mimic it, but the result, it kind of reminds me of the Halo Legends Arbiter short. There's like a short from Halo Legends, the the anthology series of the Halo animes, where they just kind of like make the whole thing look like a painting, and it's really cool. It has that texture though. It kind of limits the colors. So, a lot of scenes, they don't really have a lot of contrast, but the scenes that are, there's a lot of really good scenes there that take advantage of that style. Like, there's like a scene where Arbiter takes on like a whole army of goons, right? Of Covenant goons. And it's just him against all of them, and it works so well in that style. So, yeah. I'm a little unsure of what we're going to draw today. I kind of came in without a plan. Even though I kind of made a promise to myself that we weren't going to start streaming without plans anymore. But here we are. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking through my photos right now. See what we draw. I think I should Probably finish this design I was working on. Yeah. This is a character I've been working on for the game. She doesn't really need a lot of details because she's not really going to be in the game, more like around. Like, her presence isn't totally important, right? But she's going to be on the billboard, and I want to commission a buddy of mine to make art of the character, because I kind of like the idea of having more artists on the project. So right now I'm working on her design. She kind of has like these antennas going on, like headphones. They go overhead like this. But yeah, like I said earlier, I haven't been streaming a lot of art because I mostly haven't been making much. You know, I've been drawing on in my sketchbook, so like yeah, I've been drawing a lot, but I haven't been making anything in the computer or in my iPad. Like I mean, like my iPad was at 0% battery day. I haven't used it in like weeks. That's how bad it was. So this character, she's like an alien. So her eyes are kind of like a gray. The classic aliens and all that. Yeah, basically, I want that my friend to like draw like a few posters of this character to put around the world, just to like populate the environment in a way. Make sure to tell Marsha and Ron Barnes to pick up their child in your next stream. What? What are we talking about? I'm lost. Look up Marsha and Ron Barnes. You'll find out what we're talking about. What? Okay. Weird time for the music to get intense? Yeah. Hold on. Let me lower the volume on the stream because I don't know what this video is. Okay. They just they just interrupt the movie to tell some parents to go pick up their kid. They couldn't even pause the movie? Like, jeez. Yeah, this character, it's a background character, but I think it'll be cool if she had more art of her in the game. Cause like I've been doing a lot of writing lately, right? And I think I'm settled on what the story is gonna be exactly. So, yeah. So I'm getting some art assets ready for production on certain items of the game. And I think that'll be a fun stage of this project. The music getting tense for some reason. Is this too tense? Sonic Unleashed. Sonic 06. Oh man, but Kingdom Valley's so good though. Yeah. With a bunch of eagles, you know, you get launched out. The eagle grabs you middle of the air, start flying around. Ooh. I gotta say, Kingdom Valley might be the best level in 06, and when they made a new level for Shadow Generations, it hits. And we can switch to Sonic CD, and that's a bit more of the vibe. So, hey, now here's another thing. On top of I haven't been drawing digitally much, I've also been like drawing with like zero undos. And I don't mean like, oh, I can't undo on paper. I mean that I can't use my eraser. Because I'm using ink and paint. I just like, I think there's a lot wrong with Butch Hartman. Best thing he ever said though, that I still follow after, I don't know, 10, 11 years after I heard it. Draw with a Sharpie, you know? Learn to draw it with only ink, no sketching, because it's gonna build line confidence. And after like a month of almost exclusively drawing with ink and stuff, where the line confidence is back. O-axis? What is O-axis? Oh, that's his thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's still out. Oh man. I just remember this thing. I forgot that he had his own little platform going. Ugh. I don't really like Butch Hartman, man. I had a short phase where I was like, you know, I wanna get better at drawing and stuff. So like I would watch a lot of YouTube videos and all that. Right? It's not out yet. But like, man, it's like, oh wow, he's known for Fairy Odd Parents and Tough Puppy. It's like you got one hit. One hit. I mean, I like Tough Puppy. I did. But it's not the most popular creation he's made. You know, I think we might get rid of the carpet noise or grain noise. What is it? Wait, no. We'll just lower the metal texture opacity. I think I'll lower this too. Just so we can have a little bit more clarity with what we're building. Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents is just it. I don't think it's ever coming out. Is he involved with that new Fairly Odd Parents? With that 3D one? I never understood, like, his involvement with that. But yeah, that's the one good thing he said before. The one good thing, you know? Draw with a pen, get your confidence up, right? And I always loved Sharpies, right? So I was like, well, if he uses Sharpies, I might as well go with Sharpies too. Butch Hartman is not on the reboot. He quit Nickelodeon. I would assume so. He was such a big YouTuber. I mean, I've heard pretty good things about the reboot, but like, I don't... Did we need more Fairly Odd Parents? I mean... We never... Did you ever get to miss Fairly Odd Parents? Did you ever get to miss that? It was here for too long. You know? It's like that Rugrats reboot. Why did they do a Rugrats reboot? I don't know, Tommy. We need to do a Rugrats reboot, Tommy. Dude. Of all the things to bring back, you brought back Rugrats. If it can justify its existence, more Fairly Odd Parents is a good thing. I mean, look, I'm not gonna say don't make art, alright? I'm not gonna say don't make art. This actually goes to a conversation, those one-sided conversation I was having on Blue Sky, right? Last night, I rediscovered a short called Mike and Melissa. Not suitable for younger audiences, right? So I'm just gonna say that. And if you don't know what Mike and Melissa is, it's about this guy who kind of has like a psychotic break in the middle of college. And he's not doing good, right? He kind of lets negativity guide all of his actions and what he says. Yeah, Mike and Melissa. It's and after all this stuff that like he goes through in the day, he wakes up and there's a pink skunk girl. Turn down the music? Okay, I'll turn down the music. Hopefully that's better. Maybe I'll just raise my voice too. So... so, he wakes up to like a purple skunk girl, right? And it's gonna be his imaginary girlfriend until he finds a real girlfriend. Demented already. And here's the thing. While Mike and Melissa sends a negative message, I still think that makes it a really good piece of art. Sure, he discounts what his teachers are teaching him, right? the thought of there's like a bit in the animation where he's like making fun of the teacher teaching composition, right? And it's obviously not a good sign of someone who's like in college and learning, right? There's a lot of negative stuff he does in the cartoon. And it's just it's the negative aspect of the cartoon that makes it such a interesting case study, right? Because like it starts making you think like, what did he mean by that, right? Like, I don't think you should ever discourage anyone from making any type of art. That explains the strange farming. Strange farming. Framing. Framing, yeah. I read that as farming. Yeah. So, he's clearly not good at composition. He's also not very good at anatomy at the time. I hope, because like that guy got bullied off the internet. That guy got bullied, probably even out of his classroom, and I hope he stuck to it. I hope he stuck to making art, right? And I hope his life got better. But like, as an art piece, Mike and Melissa is a really interesting case study. I know I just repeated myself there, but like, if you're interested in seeing like what someone that's driven by negative emotions does, like Mike and Melissa is a pretty good dissection of that. Because I remember a brief period of time in college where I was kind of annoyed at my teachers, right? Like, because here's the thing. Sometimes you get feedback from a teacher that you don't like, you don't agree with. And if you let that stick with you through your whole career, you're not gonna improve, right? Because you're focused on this one thing that Mr. Teacher told you, and it ruins your perception of how you're supposed to receive education, right? So, because like, here's the thing. Most colleges these days, they just send you a YouTube video at this point. It's a YouTube video. Like, oh look, this is what we're studying this week. Watch this. Make a discussion board post. And, you have... Well, in my case, I studied 3D art, right, in college. In my case, you have like 3D models due for the weekend. You have to use the techniques in the videos that we sent. It's like, okay, but my technique is so much faster. And it's like, and that was true. But my technique in the olden days, right? This is almost a decade ago at this point, right? It might have been fast, but it wasn't optimized. I wasn't doing a good job at making the art work for real time. So, my crummy 2015 MacBook, couldn't really handle it that well. So, it wasn't until I started using Sketchfab where I kind of started seeing other people's wireframes and models. I was like, oh, okay. So I have been doing it wrong. So I learned new techniques instead of like lashing out at like instructors or anything, right? Because like even when I was a teacher in college, right? There were students that just kind of jumped the gun. I was like, hold on. Listen to me. The reason why I'm teaching you this is because the way you're doing it is not wrong. But you're going to take a long time making this. And it might not look as good, right? There's a lot of students that they were like, but why are you teaching me this when I can already do it like this? It's like, that's not the point. The point is that you find the best way to tackle the objective you have on right now. So, and the thing about that scene of Mike and Melissa where he's like complaining about, like, oh, this rectangle and this rectangle. It's like you're showing it in your work that you are not listening to the point of the exercise, right? You're not taking feedback. And it's someone that delivers a message that he wants to grow, right? But all he does is act in a selfish way, you know? Like the scene before college, he's at a bus stop waiting, right? And then this girl pops up and he's like, in his head, Mike says, you should say hi to me. It's like, what's stopping you from saying hi? It's a very self-absorbed person. And that's ultimately how we take it back to Butch Hartman. Self-absorption. Right? I think it's healthy having some confidence. It's definitely healthy having confidence. However, this soundtrack is way too moody. Sonic CD, get in here now. We're playing Sonic CD now. What were they saying? Ego. Right? I'll be honest. I have a pretty significant ego. I do. But I don't let it overextend itself. But if you mind if I share this link for you, check it out. I mean, sure, if you want to share it, that's fine. I'm open to it. Yeah. So Mike and Melissa is like sort of a monument to someone whose life is behind, right? It was a young guy who thought he knew everything and he let his ego get to him, right? You can't let your ego get to you, right? Because then you'll turn 50 and you're Butch Hartman, okay? And then you're gonna be thinking, okay, I can make a streaming platform because I made the one show that everybody likes. And I'll be honest, I don't like Fairy Odd Parents. I like Danny Phantom. It's a piece of art on the channel I'm subscribed to. Made based on my request. What? It's a piece of art a channel I'm subscribed to made based on my... Oh, it's... Okay, I understand. I understand now. I was a little confused. But yeah, just like... What was I saying? I think I got my point. I think I put my point across. You know, Butch Hartman reminds me of Mike and Melissa in a bad way. He's got an ego. And he thinks he knows everything. And then you look at his art and it's like, oh, well. Maybe you didn't do it all yourself. You know? So right now we're cleaning up this sketch. So we can do a bit of line art. Little lore on this character. She's like a pop star, like a singer, right? And basically, the illustration I want for this character is that in the environment of the city that you're going to be exploring, you're going to be able to see billboards promoting her new concert. And I think that'll be fun. I just want to settle on a design before I get too deep into that. So... I love it. Stardust Speedway, Metallic Madness, just great tracks. I don't think you got to send the link. I don't see it nowhere. I don't see the link. Where'd you send it? Did you send it to me like on Twitter or something, or? Yeah, I don't see it nowhere. YouTube filtered it out? Oh, well. Huh, I don't know where to fix those settings for filtering. I don't know if that's like something I put. Because the only thing I've actually... I think the only thing I've touched about the chat is whether subscribers can chat or not. I mean, subscriber mode or anything. That's the only thing. I know on my Twitch chat, I have the words John Cena banned. Yeah. I banned John Cena from my chat. Not because I don't like John Cena, but it's a joke. Spanning... Oh man. It's gonna be 11 years since that joke came on. It's 2015. That joke started when I was doing a lot of WWE 2K14 streams, right? So, a lot of people would make match requests, right? Like, who do you want to see fight, right? Who should be in the Royal Rumble this time, right? And a lot of people would just recommend John Cena. So many people would say John Cena that I was like, okay, we're just gonna ban the words John Cena. Man, maybe I should get that new 2K15. Do a new Royal Rumble stream. That'd be cool. Does it have a PS4 version? I wonder. If 2K 2015 has a PS4 version. It's kind of crazy how we're still getting PS4 games in this era, right? They are still dedicated to that. PS5, even though there is a premium PS5, is an optional premium console at this point. Because... is the new Horizon on PS4? Let me see. What's it called? Horizon 2 PS4? Yeah, Forbidden West is on PS4 and 5. So it's kind of crazy how they just keep on releasing them. It's like how Ubisoft kept releasing Just Dance on the Wii long after it was obsolete. Yeah, I think they ended it with Just Dance 2024. That was the final Just Dance on Wii, right? Just Dance Wii final entry. Just Dance 2020 was the final one. Oh man. But Just Dance kind of fell off. You know? Now it's a subscription. It's a subscription! They made it so confusing to buy. You can't just buy the game. You can't just buy the game. The game is free to download, but you have to, like, pay for the annual thing. It's ridiculous. One game my family played a lot growing up was Dance Central. The Xbox exclusive dancing game. That was a good one. Subscriptions, yeah. I do gotta say, this ain't an ad, but GameStop is not a GameStop. Game Pass isn't a terrible deal. They raised the price recently to $20 a month, but they don't tell you that you can pay $24. You get the same thing for 3 months. $24 for 3 months instead of 20 for one month. So that comes down to like what, $750 per month? What is that? Let me see. 24. No wait. You know what? Let's put it by tax. So I think where I am, it ends up costing me $28. So 28 divided by 3. It's like $9, $9.30 a month. It's not a bad deal. That's what Game Pass. That's what games with gold cost back in the day. And you get new releases. So, I think once I'm done with Death Stranding, I'm gonna play Dead Space. So I've been playing Death Stranding lately. It's a real good game. Ooh. First time I ever play it. Can't believe it took me this long. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why people hated this game when it came out. There was a lot of negative feedback on Dead Space when it first came out. On Death Stranding when it first came out. I do not understand why people hate this game. Cause I'm like 20 hours deep in the game. Love it. BB makes me panic. The little baby. Because it's like, why are you crying? Why are you crying? What happened? What happened? So, while you're traveling with BB, you gotta take him home every now and then. This Stranding's so good, one of my favorites. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I love the aspect that the online aspect, right? Because this is a single player game, right? But there is like a communal online, right? It's kind of like Journey, but you don't see anybody, right? Other porters will pick up your packages, make deliveries with you. You might find like a rest stop that someone put down, and it's got a car, and it's like, oh, this makes my delivery a lot easier. It's fun. It's cool. I'm not deep. I'm still on episode 3, with Fragile. So no spoilers, please, because I'm really enjoying the story. we're doing a good job with cleanup here. It's like instance based. You have other porters in your instance. Really amazing stuff. Yeah. Like that's why I say it's like Journey. Like, do you remember Journey? It was like one of those like. It was the first. Well, it was the first game I played that was like. Wait, that's another person right there. That's another person playing with me right now. Cause it's like they're not jumping in, jumping out of your session, right? It's just that you're playing, and then all of a sudden, you encounter another player on their journey. Do not play Journey offline, right? And then it wasn't until I played Destiny 1, where I was like, whoa, this is like if Journey was Halo. And because like there's that seamless aspect, you know, where there's just a lot of players in your instance with you. It's fun as hell, that aspect. And I don't know, I wonder how it's gonna work in Death Stranding 2. Because I'm just like, I'm really excited for this. I don't think I've been hyped up for a game like this in a while, right? I can't even, I don't like saying that I'm hyped for Grand Theft Auto, because like who isn't hyped for Grand Theft Auto, right? This is a stacked year. We got Grand Theft Auto on the way. We got Death Stranding. What else? I thought we were gonna get a God of War trilogy remaster, like a port. Like, they didn't even get them on Syrup. You know, that retro emulator that PlayStation's been using by Implicit Contraptions, I think. There's this company that they made an emulator that plays PS2, PS1, and PSP games on PS4 and PS5. And it is, in a word, superb. Save states, rewinds, quick loading, render styles. I don't use render styles though, I just play normal. Underscan, right? You can scale how big you want the game to be, right? And even though Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier was broken on launch, right? Like, it's just broken. Once you get to, what's it called? Far Harbor? No, Far Harbor is Fallout. There's like a pirate city you go to in Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier. The game would just crash when you go there, but it wasn't happening with the UK version, because that's something really interesting about this version of the Syrup engine, right? Because you can switch versions. You can play the United States version or the UK version, and the only thing that happens is that your save is not compatible, right? So if you started a game with the American version, you cannot continue it with the UK version. So when the game came out, I kind of delayed my playthrough for a bit because I was waiting for them to fix it, because I was like, I'm not gonna play the intro again to this game. There is something that feels incredibly disrespectful when you're playing a game and you have to start from the beginning again, because it's like, no, this isn't my fault. So maybe if I had bought the game, I would feel differently, right? But since I got it through PS Plus on the Classics catalog, it's like, I might as well just wait, right? Last year they definitely catered to me, because they gave us Daxter on PS4 and PS5. Amazing game. Mega underrated. And overhated. I love Daxter on the PSP. And then they gave us Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. They released a... No, wait, that was this version that they gave us. Jak 1 on PS5. Last year, they gave us all 3 Sly Cooper games on PS4, PS5. Devious Raccoonist, Sly 2, and Sly 3. Right? And those versions of the game are really good, I would say. There's some visual defects, I think. But they kept the 3D feature. You know? I bought 3D glasses just so I can play the game in 3D. Right? Because, like, when they put Sly 3 on PS3, they updated the 3D section. So it's not like it's not analograph 3D. Right? It's not the red and blue glasses. It's just, you know, the Sony TV shortly lived 3D glasses. Right? You needed a 3D enabled TV to play that. I never had... Well, no. I did have one. But it never worked. It didn't look good. It sucked. But they brought back the analograph 3Ds. And that was really good. So, what are we doing? This thing... Presidents? Vice President Flintstone? Wilma! A day that'll be forever, that will live forever in infamy. The day that Pebbles, a day that'll forever live in infamy. The day that Bam Bam hit me over the head with a club. From this moment on, America is over. You know, it's... Dude. Talk about something else. We're talking about analograph 3D glasses. So, yeah. If you weren't from the era, analograph 3D, that's the better 3D. Don't tell me about no IMAX 3D or nothing, or real 3D, or whatever. You know, that stuff's boring. It's like, oh look, it's popping out of the screen. No. The stylistic choice of making your movie in an allograph, right? I figured out how to make analograph 3D graphics in Unreal Engine this year, last year, cause I was like, oh my god, Sly Cooper got me back in it again. It was a momentous occasion having those games on the console. Then we begin taxing our citizens who wish aliens on the planet Mars. For real? Man, can aliens just pop up? I just want aliens here. Let's get some aliens in the chat. Look. This universe is huge, right? It would be pretty boring if there was nothing out there. But also, like, yeah, I guess realistically, you would say that there are no aliens, right? And I know we joke about aliens a lot, right? But personally, alright? I'm not saying I'm a believer. It's just, you know, if the universe is that big, and it'll take us so long to reach other parts of space that we might as well just consider them other universes. You can assume that you know, there's something out there, you know? Now I'm not saying nothing, but there are particles on Mars. There are particles on Mars that resemble that of a certain type of particle that is created by nuclear detonation. And that does not occur naturally. You know? Maybe I don't know how it works, right? I'm not a scientist. However, you could just say, like, oh, maybe there was, like, an unstable uranium meteor that caused that. I don't know. Maybe. That's possible. You know? In a universe of infinite possibility. Possible. Right? We don't know everything. We don't know the things we don't know. Right? And the crazy thing is, we'll never know. We'll never know. I'm not saying go believe in aliens. I'm just saying, like, we don't know. It's so big. The whole universe. Alright? It's... I think it would be lunacy to not consider that there might be something else. Didn't mean to get so introspective, I guess. I guess that's not introspective, that's... Would they be retrospective? Outrospective? I don't know. We're contemplating the universe here. Any of those words that means it, that's the one we meant. Like, we can't even comprehend infinity. We have a concept of a quantity we could never begin to understand. Right? Infinity. Is this still Sonic CD? What are we listening to? I must blank out whenever this track plays. Let's go back. Oh. It's worth thinking about, you know? Just like, what is beyond, right? Is humanity destined for stars? I don't know. Historically, we're not going to be making it in a nice way. Alright? Historically, if we look back through humanity's track record, we're not going easy. So, I do think though, well, no, actually no. I think people will get more divided if an alien came up. If an alien just appeared, like, oh, it's me, the Great Gazoo. Yeah, a lot of people say, I think humanity would unite if there was an alien menace, right? I don't think so. I do not think so. There's a lot of people with crazy ideas. Don't look up. We thought the devil would come from below, but it actually came from the sky. Imagine that's like an intro to like a big sci-fi thing, right? And then that music starts going like like it was hell on earth. It was 9:40. How long have we been going? Hour and 24? That's not bad. Ooh, I watched that new Bill Burr special. Oh my god, he's still one of my favorite comics. You know? I think Norm is always gonna be up there for me. But Bill Burr, he's always been one of my favorites. Right? I've really enjoyed his special Paper Tiger. And that other Netflix one he did. What's it called? Walk Your Way Out. Some other good specials he's done are his live shows at the Troubadour, if that's how you say it. I think that's how you say it, the Troubadour. It's a hotel, I think, or a theater. One of those two. Maybe it's both a hotel and a theater. But I'm pretty sure it's a theater, not a hotel. And he just sits on a couch. I think in one of the shows he just does an episode of his podcast, the mid-morning afternoon podcast. I get confused by the name sometimes because it's mid-morning afternoon podcast and then he's like the mid-morning Thursday podcast, but like half that podcast is like an archive from a previous episode, right? And you know, I just love how Bill's perspective on things, right? He's a little bit of a negative Nancy, but like at least in previous specials, he's a little bit of a negative Nancy. But in this new one, he's kind of like really, well, other than the actual Drop Dead Years joke, right? He's pretty positive. Like, you know, I don't know. This feels like a different Bill. And I think that's why it's this new special is maybe one of my new favorites from him, because you know I always joke about the age where I die, right? Where it's like, yeah, it's probably gonna end at 50. So, you know, gotta make these ones count right now. But the whole joke about this new set is that he's joking about how he's gonna drop at 50 because he's getting to that age, right? And like, you know, it's not uncommon for a guy in his 50s to just drop dead. So I don't know. I would say definitely check that one out if you're a fan of stand-up. Really enjoyed that one today. I'm mostly chilling today because tomorrow I got more stuff I gotta do. And I'm gonna be pretty busy, you know? I'm planning on the second week of February that I'm gonna be working on the game a bit more. It's gonna be like a field week, you know? Just focus, buckle down, and work on it. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week because we're gonna go tabling at Comic-Con, so I gotta help over there. That's gonna be a big deal.
really like this sketch. Okay, now let's work on the eyes. So, they're pretty big, so I'm just gonna take them out completely. Oh, wrong one. Over here. And we're just gonna drag these out. And then make these layers visible, invisible, invisible, and lower the opacity here. I think once we're done with the eyes, we can do some requests. So if you got something you want me to draw, go ahead and think of that now, because we'll get to it in a second. Something to say goodnight with. Eyeliner. Almost all my characters have like some kind of eyeliner. And let me... Wait, actually, you know what? We'll do this. Automatic. Select them there. Select them there. Fill that up. Wait, actually, make it more gray than anything else. And then get the white. Make that a little thinner. Okay, let's make the sketch invisible again. Those were good. I think we did a pretty good job here. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. So if you got ideas for the quest, doodles, just like a little quick character sketch, I'm gonna take a minute and I'll be right back, alright? So leave the request in the chat. Alrighty then. We're back. I made a video on my YouTube channel. It's basically Trump going to Mars. Trump going to Mars? What a wacky concept. So... This is all we did this stream, I guess. Well, this is before the stream, that guy. We did some doodles. It's a pretty cool cast of characters, I would say. And you know what? It's about to be 10. If no one's got a request, I'll just end it there then. The stream. Not me. I'll end the stream. But, yeah then. Good night. I don't know if I'll be live this week, but, I know I'm gonna be live for Destiny Tuesdays. Because, new Act 3 starts. I'm excited for that. Final act of Season of Heresy. So, I'm excited about that. Episode Heresy, I'm sorry. Episode, not season. They don't like calling this episode seasons anymore. So, even though they are seasons. But, yeah. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for checking in. And, for having the funny haha moments. So, alright then. Good night.